So you have a reputation for being passionate about the quality of your buildings.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the key elements you focus on to ensure your developments meet such a high standard?
Yeah, look, again, very kind words. I think, when you're starting out in the industry, you really want to pick a lane and know what you're going to be, what people are going to associate with you. So very early, I tried to make sure that I was really across the detail at the times in certain locations. We were pushing things forward. So the biggest thing for me is probably, again, working backwards and trying to have designs that are probably more timeless and floor plans that really get the maximum out of the opportunity. So, working with the best team possible, I think then gets the best outcome. And also understanding that as much as I want the best product, I'm not a designer. So having an architect that can understand your brief, having an engineer that designs efficiently, and teams that really work well together. So when I look back at some of the developments we've done and are doing, sometimes the things that make me most proud are the things that you don't see. It's the coordination between the structural engineer and the electrical engineer to avoid bulkheads, or not having layouts where you've got a column in a corner unnecessarily. Really pushing those consultants that to get great outcomes, you need to make sure that they, it's like, if you've got young kids, the teacher might say on the report, plays well with others. You need to have consultants that play well together to get the best outcome, because ultimately, if you're sort of a bit of a absent developer and you might leave it to other people, or maybe nobody really cares, it shows in the end result. And I think that's something that I'm really proud myself on. And I know when I walk through other people's developments, I'm like, I wouldn't put up with this. And there's always a way of doing something. It just requires more communication, more brain time where people actually do the work, because everything's possible with a bit more work and effort.
Yeah, and also it's more the tenacity behind it to keep pushing them to really dig out and find the right solution, especially when there's a lot of issues on site. How do we resolve that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to find your voice, and you have to find your way as to how you communicate with people. So I'm not aggressive in my style of communication. I like to think I'd create relationships with people so that they feel comfortable talking to me about things, but also there's an expectation that, I'm doing the right thing and they should be too. I often say paying people to do work is actually not enough. You need to give them a reason to sort of do really good work, because paying is just expected. So as silly as that sounds, if you've got people who are really understanding your concept and your expectations, then you empower them to do the right thing. And I think it helps me a lot.
Yeah. And I think I like the word you say, empower them. Yeah, like if they're just doing a job for you, but they can
Yeah,
do that any time of day, right? But you,
yeah,
you give them that authority and empower them to really become more creative, something that probably they wouldn't be doing on a day-to-day basis.
I'm not the designer. I work to a product, a market, a budget, but certainly it comes down to the brief and then really pushing them to sort of make it happen. And I think that's worked well for me as I work. I also say, like, you need to work with the best people you can afford. So I don't necessarily pick based on price. It's depending on the project and the people that I think can do the best job for me.